Home of Battle by the Bay, the 19th annual event featuring some of the region's top basketball programs. Today we take a look at one of those teams. It's the Middle Township Panthers, coming in at 13-3. They'll take on George Washington, team coming down from Philadelphia, sitting at 14-7 on their season. Interesting matchup to keep eyes on. Earlier today we saw Wildwood Catholic come from behind atop Absegami. Wildwood Catholic winning handedly with a 36-10 effort in the second half. A remarkable turnaround after trailing by 11. Right now we put the focus back on another Cape Atlantic League elite, the Middle Township Panthers, as we mentioned. Right now announcing starting lineups, and nothing out of the ordinary. Lamar Greer back in action, however. Other than that, it's Micah Moore, and then three more seniors, of course, Darrell Shelton, Tom Catanoso, and Tom Ferraco suiting up in the starting lineup for the Middle Township Panthers. George Washington, certainly an unfamiliar foe for these Middle Township Panthers. Coming in, as I mentioned, 14-7 on the season. They fell last night here to Holy Spirit. They announced their starting lineup right now. George Washington last night against Holy Spirit allowed Paul Moore to score 25 as the Spartans won that game by double digits. George Washington out of the Philadelphia Public B bracket in 4A Pennsylvania division. Before last night's loss, they had won 3 consecutive games, most recently against West Philadelphia on January 31st, but a rude welcoming to South Jersey by a Cape Atlantic League foe last night, and Holy Spirit will see how they fare against a CAL opponent today. Middle Township on quite a roll this season. An overtime loss last Friday against St. Augustine set them back a little bit when it came to the Cape Atlantic League race, but overall this year playing tremendously. 3 losses, 1 to Atlantic City, a team that is coming off of a state title run, and 15-1 overall. A loss to St. Anthony, who just went on an 83-game win streak until it was snapped yesterday night. And the third loss came in that overtime defeat against St. Augustine. So 3 losses, and all quality losses, you can certainly call them as well. Other than that, they've been on a tear in league play. The Panthers in the National Conference currently 8-1 in conference play, 13-3 overall. Right now tied atop the National Conference with St. Augustine. And Middle Township very close to clinching a playoff spot. They reached the Cape Atlantic League title game last year, and certainly this year they look like they're set up for another run into the CAL playoffs and beyond. South Jersey Group 2 playoffs as well. Currently they're battling it out with Haddonfield for the top seed there. And here's tip-off. Micah Moore looks like he gained control and went out of bounds, but they'll tip it off again here. Second time's the charm. George Washington switches out, and this time George Washington takes over. Here is number 10, Devontae Saxon with the ball. Look inside there to Wayne Ferguson. He's off the mark. Ball up for grabs and corralled by Micah Moore here. And Middle Township is off and running to start things out. Lamar Greer, as we mentioned, back from a knee injury. Tom Catanoso blocked from behind on that shot by Saxon. And Eagles take the ball back. Quick turnover, it appears. Middle Township fighting for it on the floor. That was Micah Moore earning the floor burn there. And Middle Township will take possession. We have a jump ball, and that goes in the favor of the Panthers right now. So orange and black moving left to right on your screens, going up against the George Washington Eagles of the Philadelphia region, wearing all white. Tom Catanoso tries to feed it inside. A quick turnover, though. Eagles come up with it. Kendall Truitt with the ball. And he finds Saxon for a 3-ball there, and it's 3-0 Eagles here to start things out. Saxon drills the 3-pointer to start things out. Shelton, one of the senior leaders of this team. Very veteran-laden lineup here for the Middle Township Panthers. including Tom Catanoso. And there's Tom Farraco with the jumper on the feed from Catanoso. Two seniors hooking up. Expect a lot of that throughout the contest. It's a 2-2 ball game here. About a minute and 20 seconds into action. Battle by the Bay. Day number 2 here at Atlantic City High School. One of a few tremendous matchups. And there's a travel. Kendall Truitt lost control of his footing there. Certainly these teams not necessarily familiar with each other. As a coach, you try to scrape together any tape you can get when you see this game is scheduled. Maybe put in a few phone calls to some old friends. Find out what you're dealing with when you take on an unfamiliar team like this. But right now they'll tend to take some time to fill each other out. We'll see how they adjust. Micah Moore, wide open jumper on the feed from Farraco there, and he drills it. Nice shot from Moore. 4-2 Middle Township with an early advantage here. That 3 ball that we called for Saxon earlier was actually ruled a 2-point shot. Here is Devontae Saxon with the ball. Working up against Catanoso. Runs into a brick wall when trying to take him on. Catanoso escapes the pick. Saxon sees the ball swiped away by Greer. Goes out of bounds. Middle Township will stay on defense here. Eagles to inbound. That'll be Shaquan Allen inbounding the ball, looking for a teammate. He goes way up top to Kendall Truitt. Truitt working against Shelton. He pulls up, hits the jumper. Smooth shot there for number 4, Kendall Truitt. Rocking the headband today and the green high socks. Middle Township now with the ball. Micah Moore working to his right. Gives it off to Shelton. Shelton creating space, goes inside, takes on 3 Eagles, and he is fouled on the floor. First foul of the contest. No free throws, but Middle Township will take over here. Continue to hold the ball. It'll be Farraco inbounding the ball. Looking up top to Catanoso. Passing lane shut down. He goes up top to Shelton. Here's Greer with a 3-point attempt. Off the mark, just short. Rebounded by the Eagles, and Catanoso nearly came up with an interception of that pass. Lofty expectations for Truitt, who pulled down the rebound, immediately looked up court, tried to sling one down court, and corralled by Catanoso. Knocked out of bounds before he can maintain possession for Middle Township, though. Shaquan Allen over again to Kendall Truitt. A lot of things running through Truitt so far early in the contest. He takes his own shot here and goes inside, contended by Greer. And the miss comes down to number 20, Wayne Ferguson, but he is fouled on the putback attempt, and he will step to the line. That is the first foul of the contest for Middle Township. And this will be Wayne Ferguson attempting the free throws for the Eagles. His first attempt is up and good. 5-4 advantage right now for George Washington. 4:48 remaining. That foul on Middle Township. Their first, as I mentioned. That second free throw attempt off the mark. Rebounded by Truitt. He puts up a shot. No good. Rebound down to Catanoso, who surveys the court. He'll wisely pull up, give it over to Farraco. Farraco double teamed. He splits the double team, goes up, nifty finger roll. Nice move by Farraco. Able to split the perimeter double team, get inside and get the layup and give Middle Township a 6-5 advantage here. 4:30 and counting to go here in the first quarter at Atlantic City. Feed inside, and looks like we have a travel. Good call there. Greer was on the front on defense. Things took care of themselves, though, as Jaleel Moses takes a few too many steps there for George Washington. On the court right now for the Eagles, Shaquan Allen, Kendall Truitt, Devontae Saxon, Wayne Ferguson, Jaleel Moses. There's a nice little bucket there for the Middle Township Panthers. Micah Moore, quick score for the Panthers. Quick strike on that possession. 8-5 right now, Middle Township on the court for them. Moore, Greer, Shelton, Farraco, and Catanoso, all seniors. This Panthers team came so close last year to winning the Cape Atlantic League title, had Atlantic City on the ropes in the third quarter, unable to seal the deal. This year, back with a mentality of a veteran team, playing quite well so far. There's a little jump shot for Devontae Saxon. Faraco gets the outlet pass, and he'll control things here. Over to Shelton. Shelton thinks about a three, and he walks. Shelton, one of the top three-point shooters in the Cape Atlantic League, thought about spotting up for a long-distance shot right there. The hesitancy created the turnover right there as he takes an extra step. Middle Township turns the ball over. And here is Kendall Truitt holding the ball. Trapped a bit as Jacob Cowan enters the contest for Middle Township, another senior. Cowan did a great job filling in the starting lineup for Lamar Greer when Greer was out with a knee injury. Some highlights for Cowan, a 22-point effort, 24-point effort, I believe, actually, against Oakrest. And then against Egg Harbor Township, who can forget 12 points in the fourth quarter, including 2 dunks. Middle Township now with the ball. Tom Catanoso over to Faraco, who gives it back to Catanoso. Tom and Tom show right now. Faraco again. Fakes the give to Catanoso, looks inside. Shelton now with the ball in the wing. He gives it up to Faraco. Faraco drives with his left hand, goes up with his right, and he puts it in and one, earning his way to the free throw line with the bucket and the foul. Savvy play by Faraco right there. Goes in with the left, changes it over, puts the ball down with his right. 10-7 Middle Township. Second team foul on George Washington. And here's Faraco with his free throw attempt, and he cashes in. That is the three-point play for the Panthers. They hold a 4-point lead suddenly, and there's a steal by Catanoso inside to Micah Moore, off on the layup. Tell you what, Catanoso, bit of a contortionist right there, going up, finding the ball, having the presence of mind to get it over to Micah Moore. Eagles, though, able to scramble and get back on defense, get a hand in Moore's face, so not able to convert on that. But we've seen a lot of full court pressure so far from Middle Township, not giving up anything easy. As evidenced right here, as the trap is in full effect. Now Middle will have to get back. And easy bucket inside there for number 30, Jaleel Moses, George Washington. It was Kendall Truitt who lost his footing and lost the ball, but comes up to number 30, Jaleel Moses, and he was able to convert on the layup. Now Middle Township with the ball, and we have another foul on George Washington. That's 3. It was on a shot attempt for Faraco, and he'll head right back to the free throw line. He just converted his first free throw attempt of the day. 2 more chances here. First is up and good. 12-9 Middle Township in the lead. 2:16 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Middle Township 13-3 on the season. George Washington 14-7. Faraco's second attempt is also good. He's 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And it is 13-9. Middle Township ahead now. Still exhibiting a full court defensive effort. And we'll see a timeout now from the George Washington bench. Probably a good idea. You don't want to let things get out of hand with a coach like Faraco on the opposite sidelines. He will find your weakness and he will exploit it. As they take a breather, we'll talk about what we have coming up here on coverage tomorrow on 97.3 ESPN FM. You can check out Pleasantville against Atlantic City in a classic Battle by the Bay matchup. And Tuesday, live in Cape May Courthouse, I'll be back here on the mic for Middle Township versus Ocean City girls basketball showdown. 2 of the best teams in South Jersey go toe-to-toe in Cape May Courthouse. It's the Middle Township Panthers and the Ocean City Red Raiders, featuring some of the top players that we have in the area. A couple of those Middle Township Panthers, I'm told, from the girls' side, will join us at halftime to talk about that matchup and maybe what they've seen from the boys' team so far. We'll keep you updated on that. Might have Lauren Legler and Lauren Fields join us at halftime. For now, we're in the first quarter. The Eagles pushing the ball. Weak left-handed layup attempt there for the Eagles. And outlet pass to Tom Catanoso. Gives it up to Faraco. Faraco looking for help. And he is fouled once again. That'll be 4 team fouls already for George Washington. Starting to mount up now. Farraco's been on the receiving end of 3 of those fouls. And that was the second foul against Jaleel Moses. Inside give, off the mark though to Trey Greer. Up with it here, Kendall Truitt. He takes it up and he is fouled on the shot attempt. Truitt really seems to be the catalyst for this offense so far. The one guy who's really asserting himself, trying to get off on the break. Make some noise with ball movement, but so far George Washington hanging in there with Middle Township, trying to weather the storm. Coach Farraco and the Panthers certainly trying to throw them everything but the kitchen sink when it comes to defense early here, try to see what might get to this Eagles team. Remember, they're coming off a loss last night against Holy Spirit. Meanwhile, the Panthers took in the action. They were in the stands yesterday. They got a chance to see George Washington actually play against Holy Spirit. They stuck around for that Atlantic City contest, too. I saw Coach Farraco here last night. Tom Catanoso was here, Jarrell Shelton, Jacob Cowan. 2 misses there on the free throw attempt for Truitt, who hunts down his own rebound. And new life for the Eagles. There's a 3 ball, and it is way off the mark. Truitt, another offensive board. This kid's all over the place so far. Unfortunately, right there, he throws the ball away. Unable to establish the backcourt violation because he actually never went to backcourt. That was an interesting scenario. In the end, it results in Jacob Cowan cashing in on a fast break layup. 15-9, Cowan off the bench there with his first points of the game. Another 3-point attempt for the Eagles, off the mark once more. George Washington is really struggling to find range from beyond the perimeter. That time it was Kyrie Hunt-Hawkland. And Middle Township takes over, up by 6, 1:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers back at full health now with Lamar Greer back in action. Missed a few games due to a knee injury. Nice to have him back. He came up big last year during the CAL run. Team filled with seniors. Here's one that's not a senior, Trey Greer, who's really taken on a role. The sophomore, Lamar's younger brother, and we have a foul called against Middle Township here. It'll be the second team foul. We'll see who this one's on. Looks like it's going against Catanoso. I'm sorry, that one's against Darrell Shelton. That's his first. 3 team fouls for Middle Township now. 5 for George Washington. Cody Marks with the ball for the Eagles. He puts up a quick 3, and that one is in. Tell you what, he took about 3 steps, pulled up for a 3 in front of Cowan, and that one drops. 15-12 now, Middle Township advantage. 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. It's been an offensively charged first quarter, and that continues as Tom Catanoso with a spin move and a nice series of dribbling right there. Goes in, gets the layup. Blocked by Cowan. Second chance, maybe a third chance here for the Eagles. No, it's Cowan on the floor. Kendall Truitt once again on the floor. He's got about 3 floorboards already, does Truitt. Him and Cowan were scrambling for the ball, and now Truitt will inbound it for the Eagles. Trailing Middle Township by 5 with 13 seconds remaining here. Saxon. Feed inside, loose ball, 7 seconds remaining. Who's going to come up with it? Middle Township is up with it. Here's Catanoso, 2 seconds remaining. Pulls up 3, and that is blocked from behind by Saxon. And that's how this first quarter will come to an end. The defensive stand ends the first quarter, but there was a whole lot of offense. 29 total points put up in the first quarter. 17-12, Middle Township leads after the first quarter of action. 8 minutes into this one. 5 fouls for George Washington, something to keep an eye on. But from Middle, a lot of Tom Farraco so far inside, and we've seen a healthy dose of a balanced attack, which is what you've come to expect from a Middle Township team featuring 5 senior starters, a senior off the bench in Jacob Cowan, and now you're seeing the infusion of a young guard in Trey Greer, who's gotten some minutes already. He has really seen his role expand throughout the season. I mean, if you're a Greer and you're playing in black and orange, chances are you're going to see playing time. And this number 5, Trey Greer, as a sophomore, has really come on strong. And this team's going to need young players. Remember, they're going to lose every single starter next season. And Panthers are not a team that really likes to take a down year, quote unquote. Look what they did last year after losing 2 1,000-point scores. All they did was make a run at the CAL title, getting all the way to the Cape Atlantic League Championship game. So that will be next year's task. This year's task, though, for Coach Faraco is to find a way to squeeze out more wins with this senior group and keep the season going as long as it can. So 17-12, Middle Township with the opening possession of the second quarter. Here is for Catanoso with a 3-ball. Nice look by Greer. Catanoso steps up, buries it. 20-12, Middle Township now. 7:40 remaining. Quick points for Catanoso, who now has 5 points on the Panthers' last 3 possessions. Give inside to Truitt. Truitt a little too aggressive with that move, it appears. They'll call him for a charge right there, and Truitt trying to work inside against the Panthers' bigs. Nothing doing. 6 team fouls now on George Washington, and the inbounds pass ricochets right off of Sheldon into the waiting arms of Jamel Williams, puts it in for the easy bucket. Little lackadaisical play for the Panthers. And now we're seeing more of a full court press here. A little trap game being played. Give to Lamar Greer, and Panthers do a nice job of exploiting that defensive effort by the Eagles and circulating the ball down court as soon as possible. Lamar Greer cashing in. A steal there by Faraco. 3-on-2 for the Panthers. Faraco will take himself and take on contact. He'll get 2 at the line. Tom Faraco, a very aggressive player. Not the most... He's not going to be yelling and hooting and hollering all game, but he is a guy who brings a lot of passion to the court. He coaches son. A lot of on-court awareness. 3-on-2 there. Could have given the ball up. Didn't seem like that would have been the wise decision. He knows that if he takes the ball strong against a size mismatch like that, he'll probably end up scoring or heading to the line. And here he is at the free throw line. Converted the first, and the second is up, and that one's off the mark. His first miss at the free throw line now. He's 4 of 5 already from the charity stripe today is Tom Faraco. 23-14, Middle Township out in front, beginning to establish some cushion here. Early portion of the second quarter. Shot is off the mark. Another rebound for Truitt. Gives it up top to Saxon. Back to Truitt. Spots up a 3-ball. He'll take it. Long. Rebounded inside by the Eagles. And this time it's pulled away by Lamar Greer, who gives it up. Nice bounce pass to Catanoso. Another nice bounce pass to Moore. Pair of bounce passes right there. Got middle up the court and got Micah Moore. Easy lay-in. It's 25-14. Beautiful team play for Middle Township on that bucket. Saxon with the drive, and he goes up with the right hand, puts it in. 25-16. 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Battle by the Bay on CapeMayCountySports.com. I'm Tyler Donahue. Matt Ulmer to my left, producer and videographer extraordinaire. Bringing you the second half of our double header. Faraco will head to the free throw line again, where he has made a living. He goes up strong, takes on the contact from Saxon. Faraco will see free throw attempts number 6 and 7 on the day. And we're only about 10 minutes into this contest, so Tom Faraco has been a big burden for this Eagles defense. 8 team fouls now for George Washington, so we're going to see a lot of free throws for Middle Township here before intermission. Faraco's shot is up and good. Now 5 of 6 from the free throw line is the senior forward. Get a chance to improve on that right now. And he does. It's 27-16, Middle Township pushing that lead out to 11 points now. George Washington able to really hang around early, but really has run into some issues offensively. As I say that, though, Kyrie Hunt-Hawkins converts a 3-pointer. And we got a technical foul, though, against George Washington. That'll be number 4, Kendall Truitt. Truitt's been all over the place today. Offensive rebounds, floorboards, aggressive play. right there, a little too aggressive with whatever he said, which I think the official is going over and whispering over to the coach, George Washington, right now. Whatever it was, the official did not approve, and that will send guess who? Tom Farraco to the charity stripe for his 8th free throw attempt. And here's number 9, the head coach for George Washington, a team certainly us folks around here are not too familiar with. John Creighton brings in a 14-7 Eagle squad to battle by the Bay. Actually, he brought in a 14-6 team. They suffered that loss last night to the Holy Spirit Spartans. Paul Moore put up 25. Nice effort for him. And in that game, leading the way for George Washington was Truitt with 14 points and Saxon 16. Those are the two guys we've seen a lot from so far, Truitt and Saxon. It was Truitt who just picked up that technical foul. Here are the Middle Township Panthers running with a 5 senior set. Lamar Greer, Darrell Shelton, Micah Moore, Tom Catanoso, and Tom Farraco currently on the court. And here is Farraco. And he's been hot lately. Inside to Moore. Moore making a move on Truitt. Kicks it back out to Catanoso, whose defender goes down inexplicably. He takes the 3 ball. Why not? Wide open. And he gives a little shrug of the shoulders right there. His defender collapsed, may have rolled an ankle, but whatever the case may be, Catanoso was left wide open for a 3 ball, and he's already one of the top perimeter shooters in the Cape Atlantic League. Why not take that 3-point ball? It falls 31-19 suddenly. Middle Township in the lead, and we have a traveling called. Things beginning to unravel rather quickly for George Washington. And we have a whistle here. Not sure what we're looking at. A delay of game called against George Washington. So we have a technical foul moments ago. Now a delay of game against George Washington. And we're midway through the second quarter. They got to keep their composure. This could get very ugly in a hurry for George Washington Eagles. Middle Township, meanwhile, no nonsense to their game so far today. Been a solid game plan, and they've executed quite well on both ends of the court. Into Greer, who just came back off that injury. He looks very aggressive there. Falls. He's off the mark. Let's hope he's okay getting up off the floor. And a take there. We got a charging foul, though. That's the way it's going for the Eagles. That was Saxon who took it up. He's called for the charge. And again, yet another penalty here on the Panthers. Or on the George Washington Eagles, who now call a timeout, something they desperately need. It's 31-19 now, Middle Township. And talk about a team that's hard to come back on. It's these Panthers. 6 seniors in their 7-man rotation. They don't go much deeper than 7 typically. So those guys have been through the fire before. Many of them played as juniors last year. And when they wrench out a lead like this, 31-19, it's a huge mountain to overcome for an opponent. So we take a look at Middle Township's recent schedule. It's really been highlighted by some big Cape Atlantic League wins and, of course, an overtime loss at St. Augustine, which set the team back a ways. When you talk about where they are in the Cape Atlantic League, it was just their 2nd Cape Atlantic League loss, their 1st in the National Conference. But Middle Township recently coming off of a 61-34 victory over Lower Cape May. That was on the Middle Township's home court on January 29th. Before that, they win on the road at Wildwood. That was a close contest last Saturday, actually, 60-56. Middle Township beating the Tri-County Warriors. And as we mentioned, last Friday night, tough loss. Middle Township overcomes a 14-point deficit in the 4th quarter against St. Augustine before ultimately falling 63-61 in overtime. Clearly, the Panthers have shown they've been able to overcome that disheartening St. Augustine loss. Consecutive victories, out to a solid start tonight. This is the time of the year that a Coach Farraco-led team really likes to make its mark, establish itself, and find its identity. I think this Panthers team's done a good job of that. And errant pass there by Shelton. Looked like him and Micah Moore had their signals crossed. That one sails into the front row of the stands. Midway through the second quarter here, Middle Township leading 31-19. You're listening and watching CapeMayCountySports.com. I'm Tyler Donahue on the call. Matt Ulmer, producer, videographer here as well. And we've got a call against Middle Township here. It'll be just their 4th team foul. George Washington has already racked up 10 team fouls. Call goes against Tom Catanoso, starting guard for the Middle Township Panthers. Just the first call to go against Catanoso today. Panthers done a nice job of avoiding any foul trouble. Saxon with a jumper fadeaway off the mark there, and it's really become an issue for the Eagles getting inside the paint. Settling for a lot of jumpers right now, and contested jumpers at that. Not a recipe for success against this Middle Township team. This is a middle team, mind you, that does not have that big post presence. But then again, neither does George Washington. Greer with a 3 ball. Off the mark, rebound, still out there. George Washington comes up with it. Give ahead, and a scoop to the hoop. Kendall Truitt. Nice bucket. Really been the most impressive Eagle this afternoon has Kendall Truitt. Bad pass there by the Panthers. Getting a little sloppy on offense after executing so well. Here's Saxon with the drive, and he cashes in. It's a 31-23 game now. George Washington maybe picking themselves off the canvas a bit right now. Under 3 minutes to play in the first half here. Battle by the Bay, Middle Township. George Washington out of Philadelphia. Here is Farraco for 3, no good. Panthers settling for a couple 3-pointers last few possessions. Mix in a couple turnovers, and that's how you open the door for a little bit of a comeback here. And Lamar Greer takes a seat for Middle Township. Back into the game is fellow senior Jacob Cowan, number 1. Catanoso and Shelton controlling the pace for the Panthers. Here's Farraco with the ball now, dribbling with his right hand. He loses control. Another turnover for the Panthers. Truitt with the drive on Shelton, and that'll be a blocking foul on Shelton. I think that was the right call right there. Shelton tried to put himself in position underneath the rim, but he was still moving. Truitt drew contact. He'll go to the line. Again, Kendall Truitt, he gets a rebound. He is off to the races. Big night last night, 14 points against Holy Spirit. So far this afternoon, he's been a very effective player for an Eagles team that looks tentative overall. Truitt certainly not one of the players who's looking standoffish in any ways. His first free throw drops, and that cuts the deficit to 7 points now. Middle Township once up by 14. You're watching live coverage of Middle Township against George Washington out of Philadelphia here at Atlantic City High School. It's day 2 of Battle by the Bay. Free throw misses badly there, and that'll be a foul. Nice rebound by Micah Moore, who was shoved out of bounds, and easy call for the ref to diagnose right there. That one will go against number 34, Kelvin Jackson. And from here on out, Middle Township will be heading to the line in the double bonus. 2:23 remaining in the first half. You talk about a lot of opportunities for the Panthers to draw fouls and get to the line. Moore, very effective so far in the contest. Off on his first free throw attempt. Micah Moore currently joined on the court by fellow Panthers Jacob Cowan, Tom Farraco, Tom Catanoso, and Darrell Shelton. Moore's second free throw also off the mark. And George Washington now down just by 7. Look to cut into that lead a little bit more right now with the possession. Truitt handling the ball, working against Shelton. He gives off to Jackson. Jackson give inside to Jalil Moses. Moses loses his handle on the ball. Here's Shelton up the front to Catanoso. Catanoso finds a wide open Micah Moore inside, who goes reverse and misses. He went reverse with the left hand right there. Found himself with a lot of real estate, and here is Truitt on the other end, missing a jump shot. Rebound down to Cowan. Farraco now trying to push the tempo, and that is swiped away by Truitt. Only man to cover him is Catanoso, not enough. Truitt goes up with his right hand from the left side. It's a 26-31 game now. Middle Township ahead by just 5. Really seeing a once sizable lead get trimmed away quickly by George Washington. Catanoso, the give to Moore. He hesitates, gives it back to Catanoso now. guarded by Marks. And Shelton now handling. 1:16 remaining and counting here in the first half of play. Middle Township leading by 5. Cardonoso again. Over to Shelton. Shelton spots a 3, takes it off the front of the rim. Rebound by Moore. Turnaround, put back, and he will head to the free throw line. Moore doing work inside. Go back to that last possession. Moore really had a nice look inside. Opted to go for the reverse with his left and was not able to convert. See if he can atone for that miss here at the free throw line. It's 31-26. We are under a minute to play. 58.5 seconds remaining here at Atlantic City High School. That foul call goes against Jaleel Moses. It's the 3rd for the Eagles big man. Front end of a free throw stay here is good. One more coming. Shot is up and off the left side of the rim for Moore. So 1 of 2 at the line for him. 55 seconds to go here. George Washington trailing by 6. Truitt gives it over to Ferguson. Ferguson up with the shot, and now he will get a chance to go to the free throw line. So teams exchanging a lot of free throws here. The 5th team foul on the Panthers. We'll see who this one is on. This one goes against Micah Moore. Micah Moore, the Panthers senior forward. That's his first foul of the contest. 16 fouls for the Panthers today. First shot for Ferguson rims out. Ferguson last night 10 points in the contest. Actually, yesterday he made 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He misses his first attempt today, though. Battle by the Bay coverage here on KBACountySports.com. Middle Township taking on an out-of-state opponent in George Washington from Philadelphia. Now Shelton with the ball. 40 seconds to go here in the first half. And another turnover created by the Eagles. And nice take, and Saxon can't convert. And he gets his own rebound. Unfortunately for him, he had a foot on the line. Good thinking by Saxon. Very aggressive on the take. The ball rimmed out. Really seeing the Eagles suddenly, since they called that timeout earlier to regroup when they were down 14, seeing them come out, play a lot better, particularly on defense. Middle Township really struggling to maneuver the ball like they were earlier. It's a team that likes to push the ball around the perimeter, work it inside eventually, and that patience has been tested so far. There's Cowan inside. Right-handed layup, no good. Panthers struggling from inside. 7 seconds remaining now. Truitt draws contact, puts up a shot, and that one will go against Greer, sending Truitt to the line with 4.6 seconds remaining. Chance to cut this game to a 1-possession contest. That's 32-27 Middle Township right now. About 5 minutes of game time ago, I would have told you Middle Township was on the verge of blowing this one wide open, maybe cashing in on a 20, 30-point victory. Things have changed in a hurry, though. We've seen the Eagles come out intimidating the Panthers defensively, forcing some uncharacteristic mistakes on the part of the Panthers. Suddenly down just 5. George Washington. Truitt misses his first free throw attempt. Free throws have been an issue for these Eagles today. Not so efficient from the charity stripe. Panthers will have time for a last shot here. 4.6 seconds left on the clock. Truitt's shot is in. It'll be Cowan inbounding the ball. He gets it to Cardonoso. Cardonoso up front to Ferracco. 3 seconds remain on the clock. Inside the Greer, who was blocked. And that's how this first half will end. That's how the first quarter ended, with the block. That one was on Cardonoso, this one on Greer, and George Washington heads into the locker room. Have to feel good about the way they finished up that first half. Trailing by 4, they were down by 14 points earlier in this contest. It's 32-28, Middle Township leading. And we will shortly be joined by a pair of Middle Township girls basketball standouts. We'll keep the Panthers in our spotlight here. Lauren Fields, Lauren Legler from what I'm told, will be stopping by here with us. Middle Township girls basketball team takes on a formidable foe in Ocean City on Tuesday. KMACountySports.com will be on hand for that one. I'll be on the mic again on Tuesday for Middle Township Ocean City. Big Cape Atlantic League girls basketball matchup. Classic rivalry between those two squads. Looking forward to calling that game. We're going to step aside, go to break for the time being. When we come back, we'll be here with two of Middle Township's outstanding girls basketball players looking to get back and win another South Jersey title. Stay tuned. It's KMACountySports.com. And welcome back to second half action here at Battle by the Bay. It is KMACountySports.com bringing in Middle Township, George Washington. The George Washington Eagles in all white, moving left to right on your screen with the ball to start the second half. Currently trailing Middle Township 32-28. Eagles were able to stay afloat there after a rough start. We have a jump ball here, and Middle Township takes advantage. It'll go the way of orange and black. We're going to get to some first half stats with you in just a moment. But first, I want to remind you, we are brought to you by Ulmer's Appliances, which strangely enough matches the same last name of our videographer and producer, Matt Ulmer. He's here with me, Tyler Donahue, live at Atlantic City High School. Second half of our doubleheader today, a big Saturday high school hoop showcase. Earlier we had Wildwood Catholic's victory over Absegami. You can check out highlights and full game content from both of these matchups on KMACountySports.com. And there's Greer providing a highlight of his own, taking it to the rim and getting fouled. Tell you what, Lamar Greer is coming off this knee injury and he looks good as new. Could be a huge boost for this Panthers team heading into the final stretch of the Cape Atlantic League schedule. Look at some key stats here in the first half. Darrell Shelton actually did not make a shot, only took one shot. It was a three-point attempt, and he's really a guy you can come to expect 14 to 15 points a night from. Greer's free throw is good, now a 7-point lead for Middle Township. So even without Shelton scoring in the first half, Middle Township able to get a lot of points on the board. I mean, 32 points without Shelton scoring a point. You got to be happy if you're Coach Farraco. Rebound and bucket, that will not make Coach Farraco happy. That is a putback attempt and lay-in by Wayne Ferguson for the Eagles, and he is fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line now, 35-30. In case you missed it at halftime, we were joined by Lauren Fields and Lauren Legler, who are big members of the Middle Township girls basketball program, reigning South Jersey champion. They will be in action Tuesday at home against Ocean City, and we'll be on the call for that one, bringing you live video coverage from Cape May Courthouse. So don't miss that. Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock at Middle Township. Catanoso puts up a three ball, and he slams it home. 38-30 now in favor of the Middle Township Panthers. Tom Catanoso beginning to heat up in this contest, and there he creates a steal, and Farraco comes up with it. It was Catanoso's quick hands and Farraco's awareness to locate that ball, and an early foul here on the Eagles. And the Eagles players are going to start to run into some foul trouble because this team really racked up a lot of fouls in the first half, ended up in the double bonus with a few minutes to go in the half, and Middle was able to get to the free throw line quite a bit. Steal by the Eagles. They continue to play more inspired offense, and there's a bucket inside for Saxon. Devontae Saxon with the layup off the nice assist. It's 38-32, Middle Township with the lead in this contest. In the first half, it was the Panthers getting out to a 17-12 lead after the first quarter. George Washington outscores Middle Township 16-15 in the second quarter, 32-28 your halftime score. But so far the Panthers outscoring, and there you go, outscoring the George Washington Eagles 8-4 now in the third quarter. And Catanoso wasting no time. He just made a three-point basket. Now we'll get to cash in on a potential another three-point play of the hard variety. free throw attempt is long and rebounded by Truitt, who will look to lead the charge here for the Eagles. He'll go all the way to the cylinder and put it in. Rim to rim there for Truitt. Kendall Truitt with a big first half. He had 14 points last night and off to a solid start here. Ricochet, and Catanoso comes up with it. Over to Faraco. Faraco, charging call. Got caught in no man's land right there. Again, Darrell Shelton just one field goal attempt all game so far. Interesting to see. 40-34 right now. Middle Township out in front. 5:48 remaining here in the quarter. That was the third foul right there called against Tom Faraco, so keep an eye on that one. Another one will probably earn him a trip to the bench to take a seat next to his dad. Truitt with the ball. Goes inside to Saxon. Saxon off the mark, rebounded by Micah Moore. Catanoso surveying the court. He finds Shelton. Shelton inside to Greer. Greer up from the right side with the lay-in. Lamar Greer now with a couple of field goals here in the third quarter. 42-34 Middle Township, continuing to put points on the board. Truitt working against Shelton. Pull up Jay. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Greer, who gives off to Catanoso. Steady hands of Catanoso running point right now. Over to Greer. Back to Shelton. Shelton still looking for his first points in the game. Here's Faraco. Oh, beautiful move right there to cut inside by Micah Moore. Very active. Faraco puts the ball over his head, waits for a cutter, and it was Micah Moore crashing into the lane. Faraco spotted him, put the ball on the money, and Micah Moore fouled. Earns a trip to the line here. 42-34 Middle Township. We're going to see Jacob Cowan check in here in just a moment, likely in relief of Lamar Greer. Micah Moore in that first half, 3 of 5 from the floor, 7 points to go with 3 rebounds and a couple steals. Very nice game for the senior, who's really become this Panthers team's post guy. And I wouldn't say this team certainly does not have a true center, but if you're going to look for the guy who's anchoring the post down low, it's going to be Micah Moore. So Cowan does check in. And Tom Faraco will take a breather for a few moments here. Saxon over to Truitt. Off to Hawkins. Hawkins with the ball, working against Greer to his right. Back up top to Truitt, guarded by Darrell Shelton. Inside give, off the back of the rim. Put back is good. Nice effort there by Joseph Randall. Did not succeed the first time, but grabbed his own rebound. Put that one in for the bucket. Here is Jacob Cowan over to Micah Moore. Back up top to Catanoso, who resets things here. He drives inside, goes to his left, and it is in and one. Tell you what, Catanoso, nice maneuver there with the left hand inside, showing a lot of dexterity. And it is 46-36. Middle Township balloons that lead back to double digits now. We have reached the midway point here in the third quarter. This matchup between Middle Township and George Washington of Philadelphia. Catanoso refusing to give up possession right there. Nice effort by him, but jump ball currently favors the Eagles. So George Washington will take over here. Much like in the first half when George Washington ran into foul issues, they've already got 5 accumulated here in the first 4 minutes of the second half. So another issue to keep an eye on. Cowan with the ball, off the give from Catanoso up top to Shelton. Shelton again, quiet night for him so far. He's guarded by Hawkins, gives it over to Catanoso, who finds Greer. Greer making a move inside to Cowan, one dribble and up and in. Jacob Cowan with the bucket on the give from Lamar Greer. One thing I will say about this Panthers team, there's a lot of synergy on the court. The cohesion is there. They've played together for quite some time. This group of seniors, every player on the court currently is a senior, along with Tom Faraco currently sitting on the bench. Saxon loses the handle, but it's due to a foul, and that'll be called against Darrell Shelton. And Tom Farraco will check back in now. Taking a seat is Micah Moore. Not a lot of rest for these Middle Township Panthers players. Coach Farraco does his best to rotate, particularly in the front court. Darrell Shelton and Tom Catanoso, though, likely going to be earning a good night's rest today. They have not come off the court yet today. Rarely is that the case for Middle Township. These guys tend to stay out there much of the time. Darrell Shelton and Tom Catanoso, and that backcourt is what makes this team really come together. Shelton matched up against Truitt. He'll take a jumper off the mark, and Tom Farraco, freshly checked in, gets the rebound, takes a few dribbles, finds Shelton, who tries to locate Lamar Greer for a layup, but ends up throwing the ball behind him. May have been asking for a little too much right there for Shelton, but a good thought. 12-point lead for Middle Township right now, 48-36, 2:47 remaining in the third quarter. That last foul on Shelton, by the way, was his third for the contest. That was a nice move to get inside by Malik Ellis, but not able to finish things off there. Greer providing defense in the interior. Ball goes out of bounds. Will stay with the Eagles. Micah Moore back in the game. Lamar Greer heads to the sidelines. Have not seen Lamar's younger brother, Trey Greer, yet. The only underclassman to grace the floor so far today for Middle Township. Haven't seen him yet in the second half, I should say. He's played a little spot duty there in the first couple quarters. Devontae Saxon over to Ellis. And here is Truitt again, matched up as usual against Shelton. Trying to create. Nice move. A lot of lateral movement there. May have looked like a travel to the naked eye, but was able to maintain his footing. And nice maneuver by Truitt. That'll send him to the line. And that penalty goes against Micah Moore. Now he's got 3 fouls, and so Middle Township players maybe starting to get in a little foul trouble of their own. Moore with 3, Shelton with 3, Farraco with 3. Remember, at the high school level, 5 fouls get you an ejection from the game. First free throw for Truitt was up and good. He'll get another opportunity here. Should mention Truitt was rocking the headband in the first half, has discarded that somewhere between the first quarter and now. No longer wearing the headband. Tom Farraco over to Cowan. Cowan didn't even think about shooting. Pulls up, locates Shelton. Shelton guarded about 12 feet beyond the three-point line, manned up defensively. And maybe there is a reason why he hasn't been able to score so far today, because he is getting dogged up on defense by Saxon. And it'll be another call going against the Panthers now, and that's their 5th team foul. We'll see who this one's on in just a second. And that one is actually going to go against Jacob Cowan, just his first of the contest. So 37-48 is their score right now, and Middle Township with an 11-point lead. Has not been pretty, really. Their best quarter so far was the first quarter when they got out to a 14-10 lead. But I'm sorry, that was a much more lofty lead than that, 17-10. But so far, it's been impressive to see the Eagles, maybe hang in there a little bit defensively. You have to give a lot of credit to Middle Township, though. They do not back down on their defensive end. Even when their offense is going through some lapses, they do a great job of staying the course on their defensive side. So Middle Township, 17 points in the first quarter, 15 points in the second quarter, already with 16 points here in the third with 1:48 to go. Scoring has not been an issue for these Middle Township Panthers. Farraco, Shelton, Moore, Cowan, Catanoso on the court currently for Middle Township. George Washington with the ball. Malik Ellis gives it over to Truitt. Truitt, Shelton been matched up all day. Saxon over to Randall. Randall looks inside to Moses. Moses cannot convert, and here is Catanoso now. Middle Township with possession. Shelton walks there, and he has had a rough go of it here offensively. he's been playing gritty defense for the Panthers against Truett, but offensively Shelton just not able to really get any kind of flow going. No points. And a travel right there. George Washington now with the ball, and Saxon travels before he can make a move. So the team's trade turnovers there. It is a 48-37 Middle Township lead. Coming up on a minute to play. Tom Catanoso with a travel of his own, and 3 consecutive travels in about 20 seconds would be tremendous to see some basketball be played here in just a moment. A series of travel calls resets us here with a minute to go. George Washington trailing by 11. It's Battle by the Bay here on KBayCountySports.com. I'm Tyler Donahue on the call along with Matt Ulmer on video. Micah Moore comes down with the rebound there. Nope, he does not. Swiped away. Here's Saxon with a jumper. That one's good. Trims the lead to 9. 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Middle will likely milk some of the clock. Look to get a good shot here. Shelton with a 3-ball, and it is off the mark. Rims out. His second 3-point attempt today. Still no points for Shelton. 20 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. George Washington trailing by 9. Ball batted away by Jacob Cowan there. It was Truett looking for his teammate Kyrie Hunt Hawklands. Cowan able to step in the passing lane, swipe that one away. But George Washington will continue to hold on to the ball. Eagles inbounding with 17.7 seconds to go. Trailing by 9. Inbound pass to Truett. Quickly finds a teammate, and that is Moses up with the basket. 12 seconds left here for Middle Township. Catanoso with the ball. Nice behind the back maneuver there. Finds Shelton, and he travels. Hesitancy right there. He thought about taking a 3. And we'll have a timeout now for George Washington. They want to get a good game plan together for the final 6 seconds of this third quarter. It's now a 48-41 lead for Middle Township. And have to say, a little surprised by the sloppiness we've seen from Middle Township in this quarter, especially lately. A couple of traveling calls, 1 on Farraco and 2 on Shelton. A couple errant passes, but they've been able to survive so far because of what they're doing defensively. That is the characteristics of a good team. If one facet of your game is letting you down, you need to rise up with some of your other staples, and that's what this team has been able to do. The Middle Township Panthers really been able to rely on that defensive end right now, but they're going to need to stop here. Otherwise, the Eagles will be able to cut further into this margin. 7 points currently is what that sits at. 48-41, Middle Township leading. They have flirted with running away with this game a couple times. Early in the game, they were up by 14. 1 point. In this quarter, they were up by 10. It stands at 7 right now. And inbounding the ball to Truett. Truett with 6 seconds on the clock. Truett working against Shelton. To his left, nice left-handed layup there, and he takes it right at Shelton and scores. So whatever they drew up, that worked pretty good. Put the ball in the hands of Kendall Truett, and he'll take care of business. Nice inbound to 43 here. Middle Township out in front. And we're going to see what this Panthers team is made of here in the fourth quarter. Can't be happy with the way things turned out there in the third. And now the Eagles giving themselves a little pat on the back there on the bench, and rightfully so. Cut this lead to 5 points. Middle Township looking to win its 14th game of the season. And what would that mean? Well, it puts them in pretty elite company when you talk about the Cape Atlantic League standings. While every game certainly is not in the Cape Atlantic League, you look at overall record, there are 3 teams currently who have 5 victories, or 15 victories on the season. Those will be St. Augustine, Atlantic City, and Hamilton, believe it or not. The Blue Devils really been impressive. They have 15 wins as well. And then right behind them with 14 wins would be 13 wins would be Middle Township, trying to make that 14 tonight. So, you know, those teams, rarefied company. And Middle Township looking to gain steam as they continue to charge toward the Group 2 South Jersey playoffs. Right now, they are really in a mano-a-mano match with Haddonfield for the top seed in the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. And those are the 2 teams that really were projected to end up making runs toward the South Jersey Group 2 title game. So far, that's been the case. Haddonfield, Middle Township, seemingly since opening tip, have been on a collision course to meet later in the season. For now, it's Battle by the Bay here on CapeMayCountySports.com. Entering our final frame of the contest. Fourth quarter action is underway. I'm Tyler Donahue on the call. Matt Ulmer on video, producing this whole shindig here on CapeMayCountySports.com. You can check out highlights of this game as Shelton gets fouled on the floor. Check out highlights of this contest and the one that preceded it between Wildwood Catholic and Absegami on CapeMayCountySports.com. Full video highlights from those games, and also highlights from last night's matchup between St. Augustine and Atlantic City. Tom Farraco inbounds to Micah Moore. A long three for Catanoso, and he buries it. Man, Tom Catanoso is smooth from downtown. That one's good. It's a 51-43 victory. Nice way to start the fourth quarter here. Catanoso really been a catalyst for this team offensively today on a day when Durrell Shelton has yet to score a point. Tom Catanoso getting it done. Nice bucket there for Truitt. Truitt's bordering on a one-man show there for the Eagles. He's really been exceptional, not getting a ton of support from his supporting teammates. And there he is, getting the steal again. Truitt outlet pass, and that one will result in a turnover and a free throw attempt there for the Eagles. Truitt with a big steal after the bucket. He really has been an impressive player so far today in the contest. And he found Shaquan Allen bolting towards the basket. Hit him with the pass, and Allen fouled on the way up. Now Shaquan Allen taking his time here at the free throw line with 2 free throw attempts. Have to note that was the 4th foul to go against Micah Moore now, and that will probably force Tom Farraco's hand to enter a substitute as Jacob Cowan makes his way to the scorer's table. Second shot for Allen, no good. Badly missed the second attempt, so they come away empty from that. But 51-45 Middle Township. Now under 7 minutes to play here at the Battle by the Bay. Micah Moore up, and he is fouled. So playing with 4 fouls, Micah Moore gets the points there, and he'll also get an opportunity to add another point at the free throw line. It's 53-45 Middle Township. Can extend that advantage to 9 points here as Moore toes the charity stripe. And still going to see if Tom Farraco opts to make a move to maybe give Moore a few minutes on the bench with his 4 fouls. After that missed free throw, it is back in possession of the Eagles, and here is Truitt. Really been the leader for this Eagles team out of Philadelphia down here in Atlantic City, taking on one of the Cape Atlantic League's best at Battle by the Bay. Saxon, jumper, good. Stares down Farraco and drills that jumper. It's a 53-47 Middle Township advantage here. These Eagles are not going away. It's been Truitt and Saxon really carrying the load offensively. Issues for Middle Township getting the ball up the court. Nice pass there. Farraco finds Micah Moore, and he scores once again, his 2nd consecutive bucket. Man, Tom Farraco, really tremendous court vision. And there he is again, nearly picking the pocket of Truitt. He crashes to the floor. Ball and scrum inside in the paint for Middle Township. We have a jump ball, and it will stay with the Eagles. Had a few guys, including Durrell Shelton, kind of mixing it up there, trying to get their hands on the ball. Micah Moore will take a seat now after consecutive field goals. He does have those 4 fouls, and now Shelton does get a steal. Ball knocked away, and that one goes off the Eagles. These Eagles are certainly getting up in the face of all these players. Truitt right now, straight up in Shelton's grill. And the pass out to Shelton, very dangerous. And that goes off of Shelton's hands. I understand what Tom Farraco was thinking with that pass, but really kind of let that one go out for grabs, and ball goes over to the Eagles, trailing by 8 now with 5:48 to play. So drive by Saxon, kind of out of control, but he draws a foul from Jacob Cowan. That will be Cowan's 2nd foul this afternoon. And now we have a bit of a skirmish I can tell you one of the guys involved in this is Mr. Truitt, Kendall Truitt of George Washington, and I think him and Terrell Shelton have been jawing a little bit. So it will be 2 free throw attempts for Devontae Saxon, one of the starting members of this Eagles program. George Washington Eagles down here from Philadelphia for a pair of games against Cape Atlantic League foes. They fell in their opener yesterday to Holy Spirit, dropped to 14-7 on the season. Now taking on Middle Township, really holding their own as well. It's a 55-48 Middle Township lead here, 5:44 to go. Panthers have not been able to build that breathing room they'd like to take into the final few minutes as of yet. And there's a turnover, another one. Faraco is stripped. Wild layup attempt there for Saxon, and we have another foul, and looks like we'll stay here on the end of the court. This one goes against, I'm sorry, the Eagles will actually be slapped with this foul, and this one goes against number 3, Shaquan Allen. The refs had a discussion there, and there's been a lot of fouls really mounting up. 15 total fouls here in the second half, 7 for Middle Township and 8 for George Washington. And the refs trying to clear things up with both sidelines here. Not exactly sure what the issue is. Okay, so here's what they're doing. They're giving the foul to Jaleel Moses, who started at forward for the Eagles, and that's his 5th. So now he will head to the bench. He's done for the game. 5:36 remaining. Number 30, Jaleel Moses, fouls out of the contest. Entering in his absence is Wayne Ferguson. So that'll do it for Moses. The refs have cleared things up, and that foul also sends Faraco to the free throw line. And we've got another whistle here. This appears to be a scoreboard issue. You're listening to CapeMayCountySports.com. I'm Tyler Donahue on the play-by-play today, and joined by Matt Ulmer, producer and videographer. And that free throw is good. CapeMayCountySports.com, of course, your destination for full highlights from a winter of great basketball. A lot of broadcasts this year. We have another one coming up Tuesday. Ocean City versus Middle Township girls basketball Tuesday night in Cape May Courthouse. The second free throw is up and good for Faraco, and Panthers now have extended it out to a 9-point lead, 57-48. And here is Saxon working against Catanoso. Truitt over to Shaquan Allen. He is off on the three-point attempt and rebounded by Catanoso, who is hotly pursued by Eagles defenders, and he's able to outrace a pair of them. Now Shelton up top, guarded by Allen. Works to his right, goes up with the layup. He is no good. Shelton still with no points today for the Panthers. He has not set foot off the court either. No good on the layup attempt there. Ball is up for grabs. Allen no good on the putback. Batted out to Truitt. Truitt loses control, and he is fouled. Looks like that one could be on Faraco, and if that's the case, he may have to take a seat. It will go against Cohen instead. Break for the Panthers, because Cowan is one of the few players not currently in a bit of a debacle when it comes to the foul situation. So that's the third on Cowan. Would have been costly if Faraco was fingered for the foul on that one, because he's racked them up here in the second half. 57-48, Middle Township. 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth and final period. Battle by the Bay. Day 2 of a 3-day event here at Atlantic City High School. And there's an instance where you got to yell, same, for same team. Cowan and Faraco both come down with the rebound together. They both take a few steps together, and together they're called for a travel. Not sure exactly who got pointed to for that one, but Middle Township survives there, though. And there's a foul on Shelton, and Shelton's got to be careful. He's been putting up with a lot of defensive swarms, and I know it's frustrating for him right now. No points, but he's been able to keep his composure to this point. But I'm telling you right now, if there's one guy that this team has been really checking defensively, it's George Washington right up on Darrell Shelton, who steps to the line now, still in search of his first points of the contest, and normally a guy who puts up points in the teens on a routine basis. 4:48 remaining in the game. Long rebound at the Shelton. Shelton secures it, and we've got a timeout. Nice presence of mind by Darrell Shelton. Dove for the loose ball and got fouled. Or no, he was able to get the timeout. So quick timeout. I'm not sure that the coaching staff of George Washington is pleased with them awarding him the timeout. I think they would have preferred a jump ball on that one, but nonetheless, the ref blows the whistle, and that's what we're looking at. Tyler Donahue here on the call. Battle by the Bay. Saturday afternoon doubleheader showcase here. A lot of great hoops. Earlier we saw Wildwood Catholic rally to defeat Absegami. Wildwood Catholic picking up its 15th win. Now in the second game of our doubleheader, watching Middle Township try to pick up win number 14. Currently talking things over. Coach Ferraco and company looking to put the pieces together here and finish strong. Improve to 14-3 on the season. This George Washington team has fought them tooth and nail, though. Out of Philadelphia, they took on Holy Spirit last night, lost to the Spartans. Today, an opportunity for them to go home with a split against Cape Atlantic League opponents. Right now, though, Middle Township with a 57-48 lead. Fouls are an issue on both sides of the floor right now. 9 team fouls on the Eagles, 8 team fouls on the Panthers. So free throws could come up huge here with 4:44 remaining. A lot of time. Catanoso inbounds to gets the inbound pass from Ferraco. Those two are joined on the court by Darrell Shelton, Lamar Greer, and Jacob Cowan for the Panthers. Lamar Greer loses control. Shelton in the right place, right time. He gives it over to Catanoso. Manned up by Hawklands. Catanoso. Nifty little maneuvering there, and Ferraco back up top to Catanoso. Guarded by Hawklands. Hawklands has really been guarding everyone out on the perimeter. Did a great job on Shelton earlier, and we have another foul called here. And that one is going against the Eagles. Not a lot of longevity for play here. We've seen a lot of whistles truncating the action. Yet another foul call. That's 10 now in this half. The double bonus will be in effect. Same thing happened to the Eagles in the first half, and you put a team to the line for some easy buckets like this. Maybe not so easy. Darrell Shelton, nothing has come easy for him so far on the offensive end. He's done a great job defensively, but so far 0 for 2 from the free throw line. He's missed both of his three-point attempts, and still working with a 0 in this scoring column. It's still the case. 57-48. Eagles trailing the Middle Township Panthers here, coming up on 4 minutes to go in the final quarter. There's a 3 ball from Jamel Williams. No good. Rebound and up. Wayne Ferguson, and that trims the lead to 7 points. 57-50 Middle Township now, and still unable to really put their foot on the pedal here and power home to the final horn, and we'll see if the Eagles have another rally in them. Been able to keep it close. Jacob Cowan thought about a 3, gives it up to Shelton. Shelton to Ferraco, working on a pick set by Cowan, and now Shelton up top to Catanoso. Middle Township certainly happy to take time off the clock at this point now. 3:25 and counting left in this contest, clinging to a 7-point lead. Ferraco now, guarded by Wayne Ferguson. He finds Greer. Greer works to his right. Contact, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Panthers again setting up shop on the charity stripe for much of this fourth quarter. We just saw Darrell Shelton miss a pair of free throws. We'll see if Lamar Greer can cash in on a couple right now. Lamar Greer's younger brother, Trey Greer, taking on an expanded role with the team over the year. Have not seen him in the second half here. He's the Panthers, I guess you could say he's their swing guard. But we haven't seen Catanoso or Shelton take a seat today, so makes sense that we haven't seen too much of Trey Greer. Lamar Greer right there with the first free throw. Of course, both of them the son of Lamar Greer Sr., state title winning point guard with the Middle Township Panthers. Went on to play at Florida State. Enjoyed a nice career with the Seminoles before taking his talents over to Europe. Enjoyed a nice professional career as well. Now his son's doing damage in orange and black. Three-pointer way off the mark. But it's going to stay with the Eagles here. We have a foul on the rebound. And this one goes against Lamar Greer. That's a second on Lamar Greer, and 9 team fouls now for the Panthers. So at this point, they're going to be sending the Eagles to the line quite often now. We could see a free throw battle ensue here in the final few minutes. Still 3 minutes to play. Middle Township now winning 59-51. Hasn't been easy for the Panthers today. Got out to that early lead, which eventually ballooned to a 14-point advantage in the first half. Since then, though, George Washington been able to hang around now, down by just 7. 2:55 remaining here in the final quarter. Battle by the Bay. The Panthers' one-game appearance here in Atlantic City at Battle by the Bay. Tom Catanoso, finger roll off the backboard and in. Nice answer by the Panthers there. Truitt with the ball now. Truitt double teamed by Faraco and Catanoso. Still puts up the shot. That rims out. Rebounded by Faraco. Boy, Truitt took on 2 of the Panthers' best defenders right there. Nearly found the net. Shelton passes up a wide open jumper. Now he's double teamed in the corner and he'll be forced to call a timeout. The Middle Township bench calls a timeout there, it appears. And Coach Faraco brings his gang all in. It's 52-61 right now, and Middle Township up by 9 with 2:17 to play. Trying to cap off this Battle by the Bay victory over an opponent from Philadelphia, the George Washington Eagles, coming into this matchup at 14-7. Certainly no slouch in their own right. Talk about a guy like Tom Faraco, Jr., I should say, who grew up watching his dad coach and spending a lot of time on the sidelines with the teams over the years. Had a chance to read a story by Mike McGarry, Press of Atlantic City staff writer, about Tom Faraco Jr. growing up, and he really remembers Battle by the Bay as really indoctrinating him to how serious this level of high school basketball is, how seriously it's taken by the players and by the coaches and by the fans themselves, and the impact that games here at the Battle by the Bay can have on the rest of the season. A lot of momentum to be gained here. Middle Township trying to do just that. Up by 9 with 2:12 to go. Shelton again double teamed, and man, they have been giving him fits defensively. Ball goes in the direction of the Eagles there. Swarming defense by George Washington, facing a 9-point deficit with 2:07 to go. That's Devontae Saxon taking the ball up to the rim, and he is fouled on the attempt. And Middle Township now with 10 team fouls. Parade of free throws continues. Devontae Saxon to the line. Middle Township, you do not want Eagles taking shots at the clock stop. The clock is currently the Panthers' best friend with 2 minutes remaining and a 9-point advantage. But right now the Eagles with a nice opportunity to score some points without burning away any of the time. Every second is becoming valuable for George Washington. It certainly doesn't want to head back to Philadelphia with 2 losses from this Battle by the Bay tournament. Panthers would love to send them packing with a pair of losses, however. It is a 7-point advantage for Middle Township. 1:56 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Catanoso working against Jaquan Allen. And now it's Shelton. Really remarkable. The Panthers have been able to put up all these points without Shelton scoring a single basket of his own, and that really goes to show you the depth of this middle team. Catanoso was open in the corner for a time. He passed up a 3-ball to take more time off the clock. Probably the good call. Now Shelton works it over to Catanoso. George Washington continuing to play in relentless extended defense here. Out to Cowan, over to Shelton once more. 1:12 to play here, and there's a foul. That was Cody Marks of George Washington applying the intentional foul on Tom Catanoso. The Eagles had to find a way to stop the clock. Nice possession by the Panthers, able to burn off close to 45, 50 seconds before finally getting fouled and Catanoso to the line. He drops the first free throw. 62-54, Middle Township with the lead. Second attempt is up and good as well, so a 9-point advantage for Middle Township. 3-possession game, 70 seconds remaining. Eagles will need a furious rally here in the final minute and 10 seconds if they want to make some noise. Marks gives it back to Devontae Saxon. Saxon drives, he is fouled, and again the clock will stop, and Eagles will have an opportunity to add to their point total. That is the 4th foul on Darrell Shelton. If this game was on the verge of overtime, Panthers would be in trouble. A couple of guys with 4 fouls. Faraco, Shelton, they've already lost Micah Moore, so shot is up and it is in. So 63-55 right now. Middle Township in the lead with exactly a minute to play. Inbounds pass to Lamar Greer. He lost his footing right there, and that will be a traveling call. Right foot slipped out from underneath him. That gives the ball back to the Eagles, and Truitt will inbound. 58 seconds remaining. Truitt against Catanoso. Marks with a deep 3. That's back off the backboard. Rebounded by Saxon. Truitt inside, and that call will go against Truitt. They're going to say he went over the back there, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, I just saw Truitt give the official a little bit of a pat on the rump. Official did not seem to mind. So play will carry on here. It'll be Faraco attempting a couple of free throws, looking to push the lead to potentially 10. It's 63-55 Middle Township right now. 47 seconds remaining. You're tuned in to CapeMayCountySports.com. I'm Tyler Donahue, along with Matt Ulmer, videographer, producer of today's doubleheader. If you missed any of the action today, be sure to head on over to CapeMayCountySports.com. You can see highlights of the Wildwood Catholic victory over Absegami and what looks like a Middle Township victory over George Washington. Also on 97.3 ESPN.com, you can check out highlights provided by Matt Ulmer from last night's victory by the Atlantic City Vikings at Thriller over St. Augustine. 3-ball attempt is long, rebounded, and put back in by Wayne Ferguson, who will go to the line now. Cuts the lead back to 10 now. Middle Township up 65-55, 39 seconds to play. I want to remind you, we'll be back on Tuesday on CapeMayCountySports.com, bringing you Middle Township, Ocean City girls basketball action. 2 of the top South Jersey title contenders. Middle Township, of course, coming off of a South Jersey championship run last year. And both of these teams have plans to go far in the Cape Atlantic League playoffs as well. Each of them falling shy of a title last year, and ultimately went to Sacred Heart, but both should be in the picture this year. A nice regular season matchup between the two. Jacob Cowan just fouled out for the Panthers. Picked up his 5th foul. Middle Township up 8. That ball hit just about every part of the rim and backboard, but could not find the bottom of the net. And the Panthers will take over here. 38 seconds to go, up by 8. Faraco to inbound. Thought about chucking it deep for Catanoso, instead he plays it safe. Dribbles one over to Shelton, who was immediately fouled on the play by Shaquan Allen. Shelton will go to the free throw line now. And again, Darrell Shelton, no points for the day, a chance to get on the scoreboard here. He looks tired. He looks like he could use a little rest, and he's played tremendous defense, and he hasn't come out of the game once today. Neither has Catanoso, and this Middle Township team, I'm sure, will enjoy a little rest between, probably I don't know if they'll have tomorrow off, but they'll certainly look to get their legs back under them. They had to work for it today, and big stretch of the Cape Atlantic League coming up for these Panthers. They've been busy. Shelton gets on the board with that free throw. Upcoming schedule for these Panthers: Tuesday they actually head to Ocean City, take on the Red Raiders, and then they're back home on Thursday. Big-time National Conference matchup against Hamilton. That ball rims out. George Washington with the ball right now, down by 9. Three-point shot for Hawkling. No good. Rebounded by Faraco. And the Eagles will continue to foul. 24 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter here of what will be the Middle Township Panthers' 14th victory of the season. They'll improve to 14-3 with a victory here, up by 9 right now. Faraco to the line for a pair of free throws. Continuing to look at Middle Township's schedule. That game next Thursday at home in Cape May Courthouse against Hamilton really is huge. You look at the National Conference standings as Faraco knocks down his first free throw. Hamilton and Middle Township right now currently sitting there with St. Augustine atop the National Conference. St. Augustine and Middle Township, one loss in conference play, came against each other. And then you got Hamilton with 3 losses in the conference. They're going to be hungry to come in and beat the Panthers, that's for sure. Hamilton has been very impressive this season, and they had the CAL's leading scorer, Christian Mortalit. And the Panthers will continue to take turns at the free throw line here. The Eagles fouling despite 14 seconds remaining on the clock. It's 68-57 Middle Township. Chance to get to the 70-point mark here with Micah Moore at the line. Been a nice day for Moore. And he's been playing with 4 fouls this entire quarter. Still playing with effectiveness, aggressiveness. Like to see that for a guy 1 foul away from leaving the game. He rattles that one home. George Washington will come away with its trip to the Boardwalk Empire with a pair of losses. Eagles will head back home to Philly after this one. Last 10 seconds of the contest here. Guess what? We have a foul. More free throws to come. It has been that kind of game, that kind of second half, a lot of free throws. And Coach Faraco is saying, all you have to do right now is just step away. Let the guy lay it up. Not the mentality of Tom Catanoso, though. He does not like to give up baskets on the defensive end. And he will make Saxon earn them at the free throw line. Saxon made his first, and his second is up and good. 8 seconds to go. Middle Township inbounding to Catanoso. This time they'll let him dribble it out, I have to imagine, and they will. And that's all. The Panthers are 14-3 on the season now, picking up a 69-59 victory over the Eagles of George Washington High School from Philadelphia. So George Washington comes up empty here at Battle by the Bay. A pair of losses last night to Holy Spirit, today against Middle Township Panthers. For the Panthers, it is victory number 3 in a row since losing in overtime to St. Augustine last Friday. Nice effort by the Middle Township squad. Certainly a well-deserved day off, a couple days off coming up here before their matchup against Ocean City on the road on Tuesday. We'll be back in action on Tuesday on CapeMayCountySports.com, bringing you the Ocean City Middle Township matchup and the girls' side of things in Cape May Courthouse. And you can check out a full replay of today's doubleheader, Wildwood Catholic against Absegami, and of course Middle Township against George Washington. Both will be available for you on CapeMayCountySports.com. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Plenty more to come in Battle by the Bay, a lot more matchups to get to, and it'll be capped off tomorrow by Pleasantville and Atlantic City in a traditional way to close out this Battle by the Bay tournament here for year 19. So for Matt Ulmer on video and producing the entire cast of characters last night and today, I want to thank Matt. I'm Tyler Donahue saying have a tremendous Saturday, and Middle Township, Wildwood Catholic winners in our doubleheader. Thanks for being a part of it. Stay tuned, CapeMayCountySports.com.